This final video will cover the modes of entry into international markets, with an emphasis on exporting strategies. As a consumer, the marketplace is certainly more interesting due to the many brands and variety of products you can find. If you are a manufacturer, you certainly want to grow your revenue and brands by venturing out to new markets, not just target markets, but geographical markets overseas. There are various ways to get your product overseas in your internationalization journey. These are some of the modes of entry to markets overseas. For this module, we will be focusing on exporting as a strategy for growth. The various modes represent different degrees of risk and control. Companies export because it is the easiest way to participate in global trade, a lot less costly in terms of investment than some of the other strategies like joint venture and setting up your own overseas manufacturing corporations. Are you aware that these are examples of Singapore brands that have made inroads overseas through export sales? Many Singaporean companies, or Singapore brands, have grown to the point that they also invest in factories overseas where costs of production are lower and to diversify risks. Others involved in F&B have also franchised their business formats to overseas partners or set up joint ventures. Exporting may be categorized into direct and indirect exporting. Put simply, direct exporting involves the manufacturer performing the export task himself, contrasted to indirect exporting, where the task is delegated to an intermediary in the manufacturer's home country. Let us now take a look at the three methods of direct exporting. Direct exporting may involve the manufacturer engaging its own sales representatives or sales staff who may travel abroad or are stationed abroad to make customer sales. The customers may be business customers or end users or consumers. The firm may also rent a warehouse or set up a sales office in order to distribute the goods to customers. The second method of direct exporting may involve the manufacturer or firm appointing a foreign import agent. An agent is a company, a resident, or a person who is located overseas, which acts as an intermediary. Agents do not take title to the goods. The agent normally works on an exclusive basis, solicits orders and receives a commission based on an agreed percentage of the value of sales. The payment for the goods happens directly between the manufacturer and the customer in the overseas country. Agents should be chosen with care, such as having in-depth knowledge about the market, proven sales track records, and experience and network to target the right customers. The third method of direct exporting is for the manufacturing firm to appoint a distributor in the foreign market. The intermediary here buys the goods and takes title to the goods for resale in the foreign market itself. So this is very different from the case of the import agent who is commission-based, because the foreign distributor actually buys the goods outright and assumes the risk of selling them. As foreign distributors are usually given the exclusive right to sell the product overseas, they should be selected with great care. The rights and duties should be set out in written distributorship agreements. There are two types of distributors: full-service distributors and drop-shipping distributors. A full-service distributor may provide the following services to customers. It may act as a buying or purchasing intermediary. It creates assortments by buying from a variety of suppliers and maintaining inventory to meet the needs of customers. It may do break bulk or buying in large quantities and reselling them in smaller quantities. It may provide a sales force to sell the products in the markets overseas. It may provide storage or warehousing services before delivering at the customer's request. It may transport or arrange delivery of goods to the final customers. And it may also provide financing or credit terms to customers. Dropshipping distributor is an e-commerce business model where a store sells goods for direct delivery from a third-party vendor, which ships it directly to the final customer. The dropshipper does not physically handle the goods. However, they do take title to the goods before the vendor delivers them to the customers. Now let's take an example. Do you remember Chun Cui He tea from Taiwan? The manufacturer in Taiwan appointed a Singapore distributor by the name of Abana Singapore Private Limited. Abana Singapore assumes the risk of buying and merchandising all this tea through its own network and channels in Singapore. You may recall that initially, the demand for Chun Cui He tea was almost insatiable because of the sleek and minimalist packaging back then. Abana is doing well in distributing and retailing several other premium brands of F&B products from Korea and Australia, other than this tea from Taiwan. This is another example that you may find familiar. Orange juice not made from concentrate, from Florida, retailed at all leading supermarkets in Singapore. Do you know who is the distributor which imports this brand into Singapore? Yes, the importer cum distributor is Fresh and Natural Foods Private Limited, located in Chin Bee Road, Jurong. Fresh and Natural Food Private Limited also distributes several other brands. It has built up its expertise and reputation in importing and distributing chilled products, including Mbok cheese, Bliss yogurt, and Greenfields milk. Florida's Natural is a brand owned by Florida's Natural Growers in USA, which manufactures and packs the goods. The manufacturer has an international sales and trade department, which handles sales and business development of all its brands in the world all over. Can you identify all the entities involved in the supply chain from its source all the way till it reaches the supermarket customers? Hello Panda is also a popular brand of confectionery in Singapore. This brand is actually run by a Japanese organization, or MNC, which has manufacturing plants all over the world. This is truly a global organization. In Singapore, it set up a factory to manufacture the Hello Panda range of products. The name of this company is Meiji Seika, which distributes its products locally as well as to more than 50 countries worldwide. Let us now take a look at the two methods of indirect exporting. Recall that indirect exporting is simpler than direct exporting. The manufacturer may sell its goods through an export merchant and/or an export agent or broker. These are located in the same country as the manufacturer. A manufacturer may be too busy with his home market or too busy to handle the intricacies and headaches of exporting to focus more on its own core product. Therefore, it may prefer to export through appointing either an export merchant or an export broker. An export merchant or trading house may sell goods located in his own country, which in turn re-exports them. The export merchant is like a trading house or trading company that buys the local manufacturer's goods outright and assumes the risk of selling them profitably abroad. Sometimes, the export merchant may even sell the goods with the original supplier's labels or prefer to put its own label. Trading houses can be sourced through trade directories, the internet, country directories, government, commercial representatives abroad, or through commercial banks and even freight forwarders. Well-known export trading companies include the Sogo Sosha in Japan, which were originally established by the Zaibatsu, or the centralized family-dominated economic groups. In Korea, these are known as the chaebol, which are owned by Korean conglomerates. This is an example of Sumitomo Corporation as a general trading company that operates in a variety of business fields. Likewise, Marubeni Kabushiki Kaisha is a Japanese trading company that has made investments into many different areas. The second method of indirect exporting involves appointing an export agent or broker. The export agent is therefore a representative that assists the manufacturer to market, to sell, and to transport the goods in a foreign country. The export agent may be paid a sales commission by the manufacturer because they represent the company within the specified region. It does not own the goods. Therefore, it does not assume the risk of not being able to sell them abroad. There should also be an export agency or brokerage contract. To recap, there are many ways that a firm or manufacturer may get its goods or products overseas. The choice of export strategy, including mode of entry into international markets, is determined by strategic considerations, which may involve increasing level of investments, risk, and the level of control. The manufacturer or exporter should develop a detailed export marketing plan in any case. They should also allow time to develop the overseas markets and to establish relationships with its partners, whether it be through direct or indirect exporting strategies or otherwise. Congratulations! You have come to the end of this video. Please now proceed to the summary video.